This is Tank's Vlog. We are brought to you by Allow Me to Be Frank, the weekly podcast you can hear on SoundCloud and iTunes. Click, listen to any of our past shows. You're guaranteed to be entertained. NFL, we're at the end of November. And now we're starting to get to the final stretch. Seeing which teams are dying off and which teams are still alive for the playoffs. One team that looks like it's getting ready for the toe tag is the Green Bay Packers, who have just played dreadful football as of late, and the seat is getting hotter and hotter under Coach Mike McCarthy. Sunday night saw them fall to the Vikings 24-17. It was a must-win also for the Vikings, who got 5-4-1, needed the win to stay alive in the race for the NFC North and to get back into playoff position. It was close throughout the first half. Both teams traded touchdowns, but the Packers' offense once again was absent in the second half. And now it looks like changes are coming to Green Bay very soon. Kirk Cousins had a strong game, passing for 342 yards with 3 touchdowns. Another team that looks like it's getting ready for the toe tag is the Miami Dolphins, who just... Oh, God. This is what NFL hell truly is. They take a 10-point lead in the fourth quarter, and then they shut down the engines. You know, sit on a lead, shit on a lead. And that's what happened. They couldn't get anything going, and after the Colts cut the deficit from 10 points to 7. The Dolphins had what had to be one of the worst drives ever seen. 43 seconds taken off the clock. -5 yards, 3 and out, punt. Defense goes right back on the field. Now exhausted, winded. Gets carved up by Andrew Luck, and the rest is history. Another team that's dead and buried is the team I picked to win the Super Bowl at the beginning of the year, the Jacksonville Jaguars. Or should I say the Jackassonville Jaguars, because that's what they play like, a bunch of jackasses. Leonard Fournette, this team is so undisciplined. I mean, after the Bills took a 14-0 lead, they battled back, had a chance to take the lead, and then there's a fight breaks out. Leonard Fournette gets ejected. They have the ball, 1st and goal to 1, and all of a sudden it's Blake Bortles to the rescue. Beep, 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 beep. Back up, missed the field goal. Lose the Buffalo Bills, 24-21. Doug Marrone. How does he keep his job after this? This is the absolute way this team has fallen apart. Somebody has to take the blame. And the easiest person to take the blame is the coach. And it's just stunning. It's stunning what's happened to the Jackassonville Jaguars. Thank you for the memories. You really were a bad coach. Now you're on the Bengals. Thank you for the win. Thank you for the memories. It was the Battle of Ohio, and for the first time in a long time, the Browns have won. And why did they win? Because Hugh Jackson was on the other sideline. Let's call it the Hugh factor. Whatever team Hugh Jackson's on is going to lose. And it was a humiliating loss, as Baker Mayfield basically told Hugh, I don't want to talk to Hugh. See Hugh later. And then, of course, there was the interception. Guy brought the ball over to him. So the Browns get an interception and give the ball to him. I mean, this was pure humiliation for the Bengals. And yet Marvin Lewis, job security. In the Meadowlands, the Patriots were flat, didn't play inspired football, lackluster, but they played the Jets and they won anyway, 27-13. Giants had a huge lead in Philadelphia, 19-3, and then just like the Dolphins did, they sat on the lead. And of course, when you sit on the lead, you shit on the lead. And Pat Shurmur, his game management, his clock management, his game planning, his adjustments, all awful, terrible, horrendous, horrific. I think the Giants made a big mistake in hiring this guy. It was the Buccaneers 27-9 over the 49ers as Reuben Foster was arrested the night before for domestic violence, cut, and the 49ers folded like a cheap tent. The worst defense in the league allowed just 9 points. Think about that. That's how bad the 49ers are right now. They only scored 9 points against the worst defense in the league. At one point, the Panthers were 6-2, looking like a contender, looking like they could battle the Saints for the NFC South. Mike Francesa declared them a dark horse Super Bowl candidate, and now it's been boom, 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 boom. 3 straight losses. Losing in Pittsburgh, understandable. Losing in Detroit, when Ron Rivera could have tied the game, but put the Ron in moron, not understandable. Losing at home to the Seahawks, unforgivable. And they had a chance to take control of the game really early, dominate the first quarter. But of course, Ron Rivera, go for it. Nope, didn't make it. He had to settle for a field goal. Could have had a 10-0 lead. Could have had a 6-0 lead. Ended up losing 30-27 as the Seahawks battled their way back. And Panthers now 3 straight losses at 6-5. Lamar Jackson started again and got another win as the Ravens beat the hapless Raiders of the Lost Cause 34-17. Of course, the team the Raiders beat last week, the Arizona Cardinals, got off to a 10-0 lead against the Los Angeles Chargers and didn't score again as the Chargers scored 45 points over the final 3 quarters, 45 unanswered points to beat the Cardinals 45-10. Yes, that's right. We got the Bay Area teams and the Cardinals in a 3-way death match for the number 1 pick. Ben Roethlisberger had problems with turnovers as the Steelers saw their 6-game winning streak come to an end, losing to the Denver Broncos 24-17. And at this point, the Broncos are suddenly back in the playoff picture at 5-6. Something you would not have expected. NHL Devils continue to play uninspired hockey. Corey Schneider looks terrible in goal. Just absolutely blown off the ice. 4-1. Outscored by Tampa in the first period. That was basically it. Turn your sets off there. Lose again 5-2. Terrible on the road. They've been terrible on the road. Also, it was the Predators, 5-2 winners over the Ducks. Austin Watson had a hat trick in that one. It was Dustin Brown with a hat trick to lead the Kings past the Oilers, 5-2. And it was the Flames 6-1 winners over the Coyotes. In the NBA, Nets had the lead all game long, and then once again, fourth quarter meltdown. Jimmy Butler, big 3-point shot near the end of the game, lose to the Philadelphia 76ers 127-125. Knicks have suddenly won 3 straight as David Fizdale returned to Memphis and led the Knicks to a stunning win over the Grizzlies 103-98. I guess the Knicks like being in NBA hell and picking 10th. Well, they get anotder tweener player. Won't ever get players like Zion Williams. And the Knicks just don't know how to lose. They don't know. The Knicks just don't know how to tank. They don't know how to build a team, and that's why they are stuck in this long purgatory. It was the Pistons 118-107 over the Suns. Hawks edged the Hornets 124-123. Raptors improved to 17-4. Beating the Heat 125-115 despite a 35-point night from Dwayne Wade. It was Jazz 133-112 over the Kings. And the Clippers beat the Trailblazers 104-100. Today's three stars are Russell Wilson of the Seahawks, who had 339 yards passing and 2 touchdowns. Austin Watson of the Predators, who had a hat trick, and Sonny Michel of the Patriots, who ran for 133 yards as the Patriots took down the paper airplanes. And today's sports birthday goes to shout out goes to the man who brought the Gatorade dunk to the NFL. I'm talking about Harry Carson, who turned 65. And we take a look back to 1988 when Notre Dame played USC, and for the first time and only time so far, both teams were ranked first and second, and Notre Dame got the win 27-10 and went on to play in the national championship and won that year. That was our last national championship 30 years ago. And of course, in the game against USC, the big plays were made by Tony Rice, who ran for a 65-yard scramble, and Stan Smalia, who had a 64-yard pick six. Check out the full story of Barstool Sports and Sports Encyclopedia, where sports history lives. And don't forget, listen to Allow Me to Be Frank every day. Listen to our great episodes. Boost our numbers up. Give us some ideas of what we can do. We're looking for new ideas to take the show in a higher direction. Give us some ideas. You can put them at the end of this YouTube video, or you could send them to me at Twitter at the Allow Me to Be Frank Twitter handle, or send them to me at the Twitter handle. Good day.